And Watford are getting ready to name their new manager. They might just have done so in the last few seconds. Let's go straight to Gary Cottrell, who's at the Watford training ground. Gary, this is literally breaking news.
Oh yes, well 2 minutes ago, very cleverly done by Watford, I have to say. They simply tweeted, dilly ding, ... Now of course, dilly ding, dilly dong was Claudio Ranieri's famous little saying when he was at Leicester City in that Premier League winning season. Remember, he used to ring the bell at the players just to show them that they were doing well. And then that followed about 15 to 20 seconds ago with a confirmation on the Watford official sites that indeed Claudio Ranieri has been appointed as the new head coach of Watford on a 2-year deal. We were advised that the announcement may come at 5 o'clock, and so it did. That little tease just before, and then the proper announcement which followed it, as I say, now about 45 seconds ago. We knew that it was imminent because Claudio Ranieri arrived here. We got these exclusive pictures of Ranieri arriving here just after 10 o'clock this morning. There he is sitting on the right-hand side in the back seat, looking very smart, suited and booted, ready to go. His 22nd managerial job, so he's been around a bit, hasn't he? And of course, Watford like a bit of hiring and firing as well. He'll be the 14th head coach manager here in the last 10 years. He spent the day here, about 6 hours here. He left about 4:15. He met with the chief executive, Scott Duxbury. His 3 assistants also arrived in a separate minibus. We think also he's had a chance to meet the players, or certainly the senior players, the ones who aren't away on international duty, and the players who are perhaps leaders of the pack here, because they did report for training about 3 o'clock this afternoon. They went into the gym, did some light work, nothing too strenuous following the weekend's match against Leeds. And we understand that he was in the gym as well. And said a brief hello to the players. Didn't take a training session. Work in earnest will begin tomorrow, and I think he's going to do his media interview duties on Wednesday. But yet, Claudio Ranieri, a Premier League winner, a Champions League semi-finalist with Chelsea, not so successful, of course, at Fulham. Couldn't help them in their bid to stay up. But he's here now at Watford, and they'll be expecting him to throw a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of magic dust on this squad, on these players. They're not expected to win the league. Listen, not even in their wildest dreams, but a Premier League winner, Claudio Ranieri here. Diddly ding!
Yeah, absolutely. Well, diddly dong as well, Gary. But I want to know what you actually make of this appointment, Gary, because obviously we've seen him have brilliant success at Leicester, and you mentioned there he didn't do quite so well at Fulham. He is 70 in a couple of weeks' time as well, and you've talked about the number of managers that they have got in over the past 9 years or so, the Pozzo family. So why have they gone with Ranieri, do you think, now?
Well, I think it is largely that experience. They've dabbled, haven't they, the last couple of appointments after Nigel Pearson with some maybe, to us, unknown names in football. Perhaps head coaches, managers who could deal with a championship campaign, but perhaps not a Premier League campaign. So now they've gone for the proven article in terms of the amount of jobs that he's had, the amount of experience that he's got, not only in life, as you say, 70 in 2 weeks' time, but also in football, those 22 jobs that he's had right across Europe, in France, in Spain, in Italy, and of course in England, even the Greek national job for a while. He's done quite well in most of them, not so well in others, and extremely well in one or two. Of course, that Premier League winning season with Leicester. And I think he understands the Italian way, the way this club is run. Obviously Italian ownership and an Italian sporting director. He'll maybe have a bit more in common with the people here in the hierarchy than some of the previous managers. There have been 3 Italian managers before here, and not all of them ended well, but they'll be hoping that Claudio Ranieri, with all his experience, will come in, and after all, in the dressing room, some of the players here will go, listen, this man won the Premier League, I want to play for this guy. If he can get the best out of the players, Watford think that he can, and they can maybe establish themselves as a top 10 team, and who knows, if he stays long enough, and that's not always the way here at Watford, it's not always the way with Claudio Ranieri, but if he can stay and make a bit of a career here, then who knows, maybe European football is in ambition. But at the moment it's just to steady the ship, get some wins under the belt of Watford. Obviously they have won a couple of games this season. They've got 7 points, they're 15th in the league, so not a bad start for a team that's just been promoted, but the style of football, the performances of late have not really been that enamouring as far as the fans are concerned, and obviously as far as the ownership is concerned. So they've got their new man. He left here, as I say, about 4:15. He'll be back here tomorrow to start work.